Hi guys! Imagine cities without cars, airports floating on the ocean, and even humans living on Mars. Sounds like science fiction? These 5 mega projects are not just dreams. They are already being built, and they are about to change the life on Earth forever. Welcome to the part 1 of another exciting video about the new wonders of the world. In this video, we will explore some futuristic endeavors. And yes, these wonders are not made of wood or steel. These are made of ideas. We will take you into the future of innovation and artistry. Guys, do you know? There are cities that float upon the ocean waves, and there are human outposts on the dusty red soil of Mars. What about the trains that fly through tubes at the speed of sound? And there is a city built into a single towering line that stretches for miles. There is even a grand hotel on Earth designed to look and feel exactly like the moon. Guys, these are not just dreams pulled from a movie screen. Right now, in the year 2025, people are working to build them. These are all future megaprojects, and they could change everything about how we live today. Let's begin our journey. In the vast deserts of Saudi Arabia, where a radical idea is taking shape, it is called the Line. This project is a central piece of a much larger vision known as NEOM. The concept for the line began to form in the 2010s as a response to urban sprawl and pollution. In 2021, the world saw the official designs, unlike anything before. The plan was to build a city, not outwards, but upwards, in a perfectly straight line, stretching over 100 miles. With no cars and roads around and with zero carbon footprint, how about that? So anything a resident of this city needs, it will be a 5 minutes walk away, and for longer trips a high-speed transit runs underground, end to end in just 20 minutes. The line is the boldest, most talked about element of NEOM. It's envisioned as a linear city, one continuous structure rather than a sprawling horizontal city. It's intended to have no cars, no streets, and zero carbon emissions in its ideal design. To minimize the city's footprint, the entire urban structure would be built on just 34 kilometers of land, theoretically leaving the rest for nature. The idea is to make everything available within a 5-minute walk from wherever you are in the city. And for longer transit, a high-speed rail is planned that can traverse the full length of the line in about 20 minutes. It's a mirror cladding, vertical layering with various levels for infrastructure, living, services, and a concept to blend with its surroundings. The project was designed by Morphosis Architects, led by Tom Main, and involves many international consultants. It's a bold step towards the future developments embedding many secrets yet to be revealed. Guys, we will now take a closer look at the Red Planet. For as long as we have looked to the stars, we have dreamed of Mars. The Red Planet has captured our imagination for centuries. Throughout the 20th century, we took our first steps toward that dream, sending robotic probes and rovers to explore its surface. Now, we are on the verge of the next great leap, sending people. Both the private company SpaceX and the public agency NASA are actively developing plans to establish a permanent, self-sustaining human base on Mars. The engineering of a Mars base is a puzzle of survival. A city on Mars must first and foremost be a shield. It must protect its inhabitants from the constant threat of cosmic radiation, extreme cold, and the planet's thin, unbreathable atmosphere. The principle is to rely on closed-loop systems that recycle every possible resource. In simple words, use the resources that are already available instead of bringing everything from somewhere else. Engineers are working tirelessly to design methods to extract water from ice beneath the soil, and technologies like MOXIE to produce breathable oxygen and rocket fuel from Mars's carbon dioxide. The plan is to send heavy cargo and infrastructure first, using robots to set up habitats and power systems before the real crews arrive. Obviously, the obstacles are immense and the space is unforgiving. Travel takes months, rockets must be reusable, and the cost to do all this is vast. Why do it? To explore, to discover, to build new recycling systems for Earth, and to give humanity a safety net for the future. SpaceX's Starship tests are moving forward. The successes and failures are both walking side by side. as the vehicle is iteratively improved. Elon Musk has stated that uncrewed Starship missions to Mars could begin as early as 2026, leveraging the Earth-Mars orbital alignment. If uncrewed missions go well, successful landing and operations, crewed missions might follow in a later transfer window in late 2028 to 2030. Musk and SpaceX estimate there's about a 50% chance of being ready in time for the 2026 to 27 window, depending if all systems, refueling, reliability, etc. align perfectly. Challenges remain at large, especially reliability, radiation exposure, mass of materials, life support, and reducing dependence on Earth. Many analysts believe that initial Mars outposts will still require Earth resupply for quite a long time. Guys, the nature's most precious gift is water, and our planet is mostly water. Oceans cover over 70% of the Earth's surface. For most of the history, we lived on land, but coastal cities are now overcrowded, and climate change is pushing seas higher. The architects now envision entire floating cities and massive floating airports. Engineering relies on buoyancy and stability. Projects like Oceanics propose interconnected hexagonal platforms, anchored yet buoyant enough to rise with sea level. The corrosion-resistant materials and smart geometry help withstand powerful waves and hurricane-force winds. The concept of floating airports is in the frame now for more stable platforms for heavy aircraft. These cities aim for self-sufficiency, power from waves, wind, and solar, plus food from ocean-based farms. The sea is relentless. Saltwater corrodes, and the waste must be managed to protect the marine ecosystems. The costs to build these infrastructures are high, and the laws are complex, and many of us may hesitate to live away from the solid ground. Yet the urgency is rising. Floating cities can help threatened communities adapt, add housing and industry without land, and move if conditions change. So, what's already a reality today? The floating housing and small communities such as these are usually pontoons or barge-based structures moored in calm waters. Maldives' floating city was announced in 2022, and the construction has started. But what about the floating resorts and villages? In Maldives, Dubai, and French Polynesia, they already have floating hotels, villas, and eco-resorts. These are more tourist luxury projects, but they prove that the technology works. Let's see what the future holds for us. Guys, let's change our directions. Let's explore something unique. We all know that Dubai has long been known for architectural ambition, from the world's tallest building to palm-shaped islands. It is a place where bold ideas become reality. The latest is the Moon Resort, a colossal sphere, a scale replica of the moon. This isn't about building homes or powering cities. It's about something far bigger, something groundbreaking. It is born of imagination, entertainment, and tourism, and to attract millions and capture the world's attention. The engineering focuses on a convincing illusion, a 1,000-foot sphere with an illuminated lunar surface, a luxury hotel, and a lunar colony experience with low-gravity simulators. It features state-of-the-art HVAC systems, advanced insulation, and high-tech lighting and projection that create the most immersive experience yet. The obstacles to build this: billions in cost, authenticity limits under Earth gravity and public perception with a deep environmental impact, and labor practices. With this, Dubai sees an engine for tourism and jobs, hospitality, construction, entertainment, with potential funds for science and culture. More broadly, it could inspire public interest in space and showcase how architecture, entertainment, and technology can craft new human experiences. So in other words, sky is pretty much in reach now. Okay guys, let's dive into another exciting invention of the present time, the Hyperloop. The idea is simple, yet revolutionary. It was spotlighted by Elon Musk in a 2013 white paper, though vacuum tube transport is older. It is called the Hyperloop, a proposed fifth mode to move people and cargo at airline speeds for a fraction of the cost. Place a pod inside a sealed, low-pressure tube so it can reach incredible speeds without air resistance. Private companies and universities are racing to test it, blending aerospace and rail technologies. Creating and maintaining low pressure over hundreds of miles requires powerful pumps and precise tubes. These pods reduce friction using magnetic levitation, or air bearings that ride on a cushion of air. Automation must safely accelerate pods, maintain spacing, and bring them to a smooth stop. The concept has several challenges: the airtight sealing, fail-safe braking, emergency egress, and onboard life support. These tubes, pylons, and stations are expensive and they trigger legal battles. The most challenging: it must compete with planes and trains on price, reliability, and comfort. If solved, the payoff is huge. Hours shrink to minutes, roads and flights emit less, regions link into megametros, and freight moves faster and cleaner. This is what's happening now. In the Netherlands, the European Hyperloop Center in Veendam has a 420-meter tube where tests are underway. The Hard, a Dutch company, ran a test vehicle across the first 90-meter of a 420-meter tube, reaching 30 km per hour, and now they are planning to push speeds higher in future tests. Let's wait and see. In Italy, a hypertransfer project has passed its feasibility study. A 10-kilometer test track between Padua and Venice is being proposed, so the future looks bright. In India, the government is supporting Hyperloop electronics development at the Integral Coach Factory, ICF, in Chennai, tied to a test facility at IIT Madras. Hyperloop TT, a commercial company, is actively working on passenger and freight prototype systems and collaborating with governments. Zelaros in Europe has launched test tracks in Sagunto and is involved in standardization efforts in Europe. And finally, in China, a state-run enterprise, CASIC, announced a 2-kilometer low-vacuum tube test system with controlled navigation and stable suspension, reaching speeds over 620 km per hour in an earlier test. But guys, when we look at the line, Mars City, floating airports, the Moon Resort, and the Hyperloop, they all demand immense capital and legal innovation, pushing beyond existing zoning, maritime rules, and space protocols. They test new energy systems, stronger, lighter materials, and precision automation laboratories for the future at colossal scale. Each of these projects confronts climate and equity. The line with its sustainable living, floating cities around the sea level adaptation, and the Hyperloop for cleaner transport, and finally the Mars, closed-loop tech for Earth. At the heart of all this isn't steel or glass. It's people, their jobs, their culture, their safety. True planning means putting them first. Success is more than efficiency. It's the quality of life. What you think? Can the line feel like a community, or the floating cities could make people feel connected? Mega projects can inspire generations, or become symbols of waste and inequity. The human element is going to be the final judge. In the end, it's all about a project endures not because it was big, but because it made life better. Okay, we have looked deeply at the 5 bold visions shaping our life for the future. The line, a linear city promising a new kind of urban life. Mars City, a foothold on another world. Floating airports and ocean cities for rising seas. Dubai's Moon Resort, space as spectacle, and the Hyperloop, a revolution in travel. They push engineering boundaries and aim to solve our biggest challenges, while forcing us to ask hard questions. The line between visionary achievement and monumental folly is pretty thin. Some will succeed, others will fail, but it will teach us about our capabilities, our limitations, and our priorities. The future isn't a shore we drift toward. It's a structure we build with every choice. If we choose with foresight, humility, and responsibility, the future can be safer, fairer, and more exciting than we imagined. As we are building the next chapter of the human story, it will be complicated, difficult, and uncertain, but it will be our choice. Which future do we want? Thanks for watching. Please share your comments and join us for more wonders.